Hi boys, what's going on? Today we're going to be doing a video to help you guys complete the second mode thing faster and easier, because I see a lot of people struggling with it, and I might as well help you out in my own way, because like I did Segunda Etapa first try twice, and I did Volt Standing first try, and it did take me a while for Bankai, but I think I just had a really shitty build. Anyways, we're going to be getting into how to beat it and what you need to do in order to beat it easier and faster, and also just some tips for how the AI works so you can like counter it. By the way, I'm giving away a legendary coat in my Discord for subscribers only. If you're not subscribed, you can't enter. Also, make sure you subscribed and commented and liked the video. And this coat gives a lot of strength stat, so if you are a strength main, this is going to be goated for you. I'm going to be giving away some spirit maining stats soon as well, also legendary, so if you want those, make sure you enter my Discord, link in the description. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first one I'm going to be going over is Segunda Etapa, because I'm the most familiar with that one. Obviously, I've done it twice first try, so it's also the easiest for me. I did it on two different builds, but both times I did it using the Astra Resurrection. I mean, you can use it too if you want to, but it doesn't really matter. The stages are pretty easy as long as you know what you're doing, you know how to dodge and stuff. Just spam your Ceros uppercut into combos, just spam combos. In the Segunda fight, you're probably going to have the most difficulty when you're fighting the Arrancars with Segunda, because those can be pretty deadly. The only tip I can give you here is if you know what res they have and you know what the res moves are, then it's easier to avoid them and you can kind of counter and predict what they're doing. Also, spend some time fighting Storm Vasocars solo. If you can get used to that, then it should be pretty easy for Segunda NPCs. Just get a lot of PvE experience under your belt, and I mean, all of these should be pretty easy. But yeah, you do not have to be max level, by the way. You can just do this at a low level. Like really, it doesn't matter. But it's as long as you have level 90, you have good stats, and that's all that you need, because they kind of scale off of your stats too. Segunda, I'm not sure if they scale off your stats, so I'd recommend doing that at max. The Hollow Prince is kind of easy to kill, so I don't really know what to tell you. Like, just he's much easier than the Segunda Arrancars, so yeah, he's kind of free. I don't think I need to give any tips on that. But if there is anything I would say, I'd probably say get some gems. If you have gems like Crystal of Digression, Crystal of Null, and you put that on Ratsu Burst, and you'll get invincibility. For Digression, just put it on anything and they won't be able to use their move for a while, or any moves for a while, which is really OP. So I'd recommend getting that. Also, the Ratsu Crystal of Ecor is basically lifesteal, so that's also really good. But yeah, anyways, moving on to the Volstandig fight. Volstandig is kind of like Bankai, except it's just easier. The first part is the one that got me most of the time, so once you get past the first part, the second part is just fighting yourself. The main thing you want to do here is, if you have good stats, again, all these revolve around good stats, but I'll get into that later. The map for this, the map for the Volt Standing boss is kind of got a lot of things in the way, like the little pipes and stuff. You can kind of stick him in the pipes if you like walk behind them and stuff. It is kind of cheesy if you can hit him right, but I don't personally need it, so I don't use it. But it is good, is what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it is very viable if you do that. Kido, if you got like a really spammy or OP Volt, good luck. If you have Oasis, good luck, bro. If you have Forest, yikes. Maybe get some gems to help you out. Maybe get like, I recommend max rank, but you don't need to be max rank, so it doesn't really matter. All that matters is you know how to fight it. Honestly, the Volt Standing boss is he almost instantly block breaks you, which is kind of weird. I don't know why he does that, but just spam up tilt on him and maybe dodge and spam moves, all that. If you have any moves that go into a combo, I would use those too. But if you don't, and you have like Oasis or a really spammy Volt that does a lot of damage, I'd probably switch off of that stat. Like, if you're maining Spirit and you got Oasis, switch off of Spirit and go full strength, okay? By the way, actually, no, I'll get into it later. But yeah, yeah, those are my tips for full standing. All right, and now the final one, which is Bankai fights. Bankai took me the longest time, and I know exactly why it took me that long. And now I can tell you why. It is because I had shit stats, and also I had a pretty bad Bankai to fight. It was just way too overpowered. It was one-shot me every single time, and then, you know, not very fun. But yeah, the trick to beating Bankai, you are in an enclosed space, so you can't really... It's like, I think it's smaller than both the other fights, so you can't really move anywhere. What you want to really do, though, is wait for him to use his moves, right? I got a pattern down because I fought mine so long. Low-key, you don't even need a pattern, though. I was still losing, like... I was still barely winning. If you're fighting Gravity, though, a tip for Gravity is just keep out of the circle. Tips for most of them, like Ice or Glacier, whatever it's called, stay out of, like, if they spawn something, just run away. And what you want to do, if you're fighting something with like huge AoE, like Spirit Main, I would typically go to a corner of the map, wait until he uses the AoE move, and then move to the other corner. But yeah, those are my tips for the bosses in general. And again, now I'm going to be going over a broad, like, boss tips, like this is for everything. Like, it could be a Soul Reaper, Hollow, or Quincy, and this will work for all three. It's all good. So, number one, I recommend being max rank. Okay, it's very important that you're. It's not very important. You can be lower rank, but it's just kind of harder. So if you're struggling, that may be why. I didn't do it at max level though. I was just max rank, like S rank, with all my stats in. I was not max level, like on any attempt. No attempt was I max level. And you can go back in my progressions and check if you don't believe me, but I was not max level. Level does not matter at all. It is only your rank that matters. So with that being said, we're gonna get into the next important thing. Another important thing is you have to use gems. Like, if you're not using gems, I mean, they can use gems too, but it is kind of tricky if you know what gem it is on and you know what move is blockable or not. Like, say, for Soul Reapers, for example, if you put like a Inferno gem on Shinten Raiho, which is basically Sero for Soul Reapers, it's that big blue blast thingy. That thing, you can block it. So if you know that it's coming, like there's a big windup. If you see the NPC holding their hand out, just block. Okay, they usually don't block or evasive out of it, but you can. This is just an example, but I'm saying put good crystals on your moves. On barrage moves, I'd usually put Inferno. On heavy hitting moves, it depends on what it is, but I'd usually, like, you know, switch it up. But for gems that proc multiple times and you need that multiple proc, like burn damage, healing, you know, stuff that just lasts over time, that stuff I'd put on multi-hit moves. And other things, you just gotta kind of figure it out. Like, if it has a big windup, I'd put the shield gem on it, you know. But again, it's up to you to figure it out. Scatter Image, in my opinion, is probably the best evasive for fighting the boss, just because it does it gives you a lot of speed, and you can move out of AoE moves and stuff. It's just really good. And you can also go towards them if you're, you know, in a move and they're like still doing the move. And lastly, the last important thing, this is probably the most important thing, I'm talking about your build. Okay, your build. I already made a video on how to make perfect stats, so if you don't understand, just go watch that. But I'm going to explain it just here, just a little bit, so I can tell you what not to do, like, in general. So if you are running a hybrid build, hybrid is you have vitality, strength, and spirit. Okay, if you have like mainly strength and just a little bit of spirit, reset your stats now. Do it. Okay, you need one. Pick one. Pick either strength or spirit. Do not go hybrid. It is garbage. Also, keep your vitality low if you're fighting this boss, because it scales off of your vitality too. Okay, so if you land a combo with like 370 into strength or something, and you have, you know, the rest into vitality, that thing is going to it's gonna die instantly. It's done. It's cooked after one combo. So that is probably the most important part of this entire thing, because if you have the right stats, this thing is so free. Like, so free. I'm not even capping. Like, Segunda, of course, don't get me wrong, Segunda does not count. Okay, Segunda does not scale off of your vitality. So if you're doing Segunda, just go a good build. Like, go a good build. Do not go hybrid though. Never ever go hybrid. Okay. The only time you go hybrid is if you have a specific build that requires hybrid. Like, say you had Cypher and Vessel, and you wanted Cypher, but because you couldn't switch off, maybe put a little bit in Spirit for Lanza, because Lanza is worth it. But other than that, I really wouldn't suggest using a hybrid build, just because it's actual trash, at least for this fight. I recommend either going the stat that your build requires, like if you have a spirit scaling ability, then go full spirit and like a little bit into vitality. Like I'd say maybe 100, 120, maybe even 140 into vitality, and you know, the rest into spirit. And then if that's not working, if you're still getting cooked just because your thing has too much AoE, it's too spammy, then change your build over to strength. Okay, like full strength, the same stats but full strength. See if that works. Also make sure you change your moves out, because they're still scaling with you know, spirit, unless they're dual scaling. If they're dual scaling, then you know, again, you can just go whatever you want, but just pick whichever one you want. Personally, if they're dual scaling, I'd go strength, because the M1 does a lot of damage. Either that or just go spirit, because you get hit by too many M1s. It's all up to what you were good at and what works best for you. If you get hit by a lot of M1s, just go spirit. If you get hit by a lot of moves and not a lot of M1s, then go strength. Okay, this is the best advice I can tell you as somebody that has gotten second mode 4 times. This is the best advice. Also, I have maxed out Volt Standing on both accounts. I have done it 15 extra times. I have max time, max mastery on it. I have max time and max mastery on my Bankai. I have max time and max mastery on my Hollow as well. So this is my quote-unquote pro advice after progressing multiple times. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've gotten a lot of requests on how to beat Bankai, how to beat Segunda, how to beat Volt Standing. So I'm just gonna make this video. Yeah, that's gonna be about it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
I'm the Batman. Got a star on my cap like I'm the captain. With that money it's baby boy, be bad like I'm Jackson. You get your mic jack, we moving like Rambo.